Welcome to the best of seven between the 1933 Washington Senators and the 2017 Houston Astros. Here are the stars that we'll be seeing play today. For the Washington Senators, Goose Goslin, Heini Manush, Joe Cronin, all Hall of Famers. For the Houston Astros, Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, and George Springer. Here are the starting lineups. We're going to use the Merino boards today. We have two left-handers also starting in today's game. So Buddy Meyer will be the second baseman, lead off. Fred Schulte will play center field, that's second. Joe Cronin will hit third, play shortstop. Heini Manush will hit fourth and play left field. Joe Kuhl is the first baseman, batting fifth. Goose Goslin is in right field. He bats sixth. Aussie Bluage would be playing third base, batting seventh. Luke Sewell catching and batting eighth. And your starting pitcher is Earl Whitehill. He is a grade B pitcher. Y modifier is master grade is 14. For the Houston Astros, George Springer will lead off and play right field. Alex Bregman will bat second, play third base. Carlos Correa is batting third and playing shortstop. Jose Altuve is a cleanup hitter at second base. Josh Reddick is in left field, batting fifth. Yulieski Gurriel, first baseman, batting sixth. Evan Gaddis, the catcher, batting sixth. Or let's see, that'd be seventh. Jacob Marisnick is in center field. He bats eighth. And Dallas Keuchel, grade 14 pitcher, and he is also a Y modifier. We're ready to begin. Here's the pitch to the first batter of the Senators. They're leading in this World Series 1-0. 56 is a pop-up to the shortstop. It has a Y modifier, so Meyer is struck out for 1 out. Fred Schulte, 42, is a base on balls. And that brings the bat Joe Cronin, player manager, shortstop. 22 is the roll. That's a hit column roll. And 54 is the roll. That's going to be a double. Let's see. Fast runner scores. Washington takes a 1-0 lead. Heini Manush. 1-2 is a 25. That's going to be a line drive to Jose Altuve at second base, 2 away. Here's Joe Kuhl. 32 is a ground ball to Jose Altuve, who throws over to first base, and Yuli Gurriel. For the third out, go to the bottom of the first. It is 1-0 Washington. George Springer leads off for the Houston Astros. He was the 2017 World Series MVP for the winning Astros. 42 is a base on balls. And Houston has a fast runner at first with nobody down. Alex Bregman, the third baseman. 52 is hit on the ground. That is going to be a ground out to the third baseman, Aussie Bluage. He throws to Buddy Meyer and then over to Joe Kuhl for a 5-4-3 double play. Carlos Correa. 44 is a base hit for Correa. Pretty sure that's going to be, yeah. The steal chances are 11 through 43. There's 2 outs. We're not going to steal. We're going to let Altuve hit. I'm trying not to take the bat out of his hands. Here's the pitch to Altuve. 56. That's going to be a Y modifier, so he swings and misses. And that's 3 outs. We go to the top of the second. Washington 1, Houston 0. Goose Goslin will lead off for Washington. 61 is a 40 foul ball. The 1-strike pitch, 31 is a 9. He is -2 against left-handers, so 9 on 16. That's going to be a base hit for Goose Goslin. Aussie Blue Age. 22 is a 7. That's +2 at 7 on 12. That's going to be a single. Goslin will go to third. And with nobody out, the Senators have runners on first and second. Check that, first and third. Here is Luke Sewell, the catcher. He is the 8th batter. Houston will play the infield back and pitch to Sewell. 33 is a hit column roll. 42, it looks like it's going to be a double, and it's going to clear the bases. So 2 more runs scoring, and it is Houston 3, or Washington 3, Houston 0. Still nobody out. That brings the pitcher, Earl Whitehill, who will score around and sacrifice. 62 is play results 30. And that ball is fielded by the third baseman, Alex Bregman, who throws over to Correa, but the sacrifice is successful. 5-3, and Sewell goes to third base with 1 out. Houston will play their infield in as they pitch to Buddy Meyer. 1-2 is a 25. That's going to be with the infield in. And it is a double play line drive to Alex Bregman at third base, and he steps on the base for the third out. But Washington scores 2, take a 3-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Josh Reddick will lead off for Houston. He was a Gold Glove winner in 2012 with his play in right field. 24 is a fly ball to Fred Schulte in center field. 1 down. Yuli Gurriel from Cuba comes to bat, the first baseman. 22 is a 6. He's -6, so he's 6 on a 20. No letter there. That's a double for Yulieski Gurriel. The Astros have their first runner in scoring position for the catcher, Evan Gattis. 55 is a 8 on 17. 26 is a ground out to the second baseman, Buddy Meyer. Throws over to first, but the runner will be able to go to third. Now there's 2 outs. And the 8th place hitter will be walked intentionally. Pitch to Dallas Keuchel. Keuchel will stay in the game. 53 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. Go to the top of the third. Washington 3, Houston 0. Okay, Fred Schulte will lead off the top of the third inning. If this was a one-and-done game, I might have pitched hit for Dallas Keuchel in the last inning, but it's a best-of-7. Here's the pitch to Schulte. 51 is going to be a 9 against a 15. That's a base hit for Fred Schulte. Fast center fielder will be on first with nobody out. Joe Cronin, the hitter, and he might hit and run. No, the Senators were not a power hitting team. They played in a very large ballpark. Original dimensions in Griffith Park, although we're in Houston today, but talking about how the ball club was built. The original park was 402 feet down the left field line, and very deep in center field as well, very deep in the left power alley. They had 2 whole years where they did not hit a home run in their ballpark. I think it's 26. I know 1945 they did not hit a home run at home over the wall. They had one inside the park home run. So the ball team was constructed with some speed and defense, pitching, but not a lot of power. The runner starts. Pitch to Cronin. 1-3 is a 14. It's going to be a base on balls. Now first and second, nobody out, and Hall of Famer Heine Manush, 336 hitter with 5 home runs, comes to the plate. The Astros have Lance McCullers warming in the bullpen. Here's the pitch. 1-4 is a 30. That's going to be a fly out to the left fielder, Josh Reddick. Runners will hold. 1 away. Joe Cool. .53 is a 20. That will test the second baseman, and it'll be an error on Jose Altuve. Committed 2 errors yesterday. Loading the bases. Timeout. All right, A.J. Hinch will call on a new pitcher. That's going to be Lance McCullers. McCullers is a grade 7 with the X strikeout rating. And he'll be pitching to Goose Goslin. 61 is a 40. The infield is playing deep. And it is ball 4 to Goose Goslin. Walking in a runner, and it is 4-0 Washington. Aussie Bluish will come to bat. Infield still back, 64. That is going to be a 12. That's a double play ground out to the shortstop. 6-4-3, ending the top of the third. To the bottom of the third, the score is Washington 4, Houston 0. George Springer leads off for the Astros. He walked his first time up. Here's the pitch. 52 is going to be 27. Ball hit on the ground to the third baseman. That is Aussie Bluish. And Springer is retired. 1 away to Alex Bregman. 64 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. 2 outs. Carlos Correa. And that's a swing and a miss and strike 3 for Carlos Correa. And we go to the top of the fourth. 4-0 Washington. Lance McCullers will be pitching to Luke Sewell, Earl Whitehall, and Buddy Meyer in the top of the fourth. Here's the pitch to Sewell. 1-1 roll is a hit column roll. Sewell doubled his last time up. 42. He's going to, looks like double this time. +2. Let's see, we got a right-handed pitcher, so he's -3. 6 on a 10 is going to be a double, no letter there. Pitcher Earl Whitehall will square around the sacrifice. .65 is a 35. That's going to be a swing and a miss for strike 3. He failed to get the bunt down and swung away and missed for a strikeout. Here is the top of the order, Buddy Meyer. 1 for 6 in the World Series. 64 is a ground out to, let's see, that's also a strikeout. That's 2 outs, and Meyer struck out for the second time in this game. Fred Schulte, 52 is a ground out to Alex Bregman at third base. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is Washington 4, Houston 0. Jose Altuve is the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 4th for Houston. 51 is a 8 against a 13. It's going to be a fly out to the right fielder, who is Goose Goslin, and he makes the catch. 1 away, Josh Reddick. 36 is popped up to the third baseman, Ossie Bluish. 2 down. Yuli Gurriel. 44 is a 7. That's going to be a base hit. 7 out of 20. Yes, that's a single for Gurriel. And Gurriel is 2 for 2. In fact, he has 2 of Houston's 3 hits. Evan Gattis, 31 is a 9 on a 17. .28 is a ground out to the shortstop. We go to the top of the 5th, 4-0 Washington. Joe Cronin leads off the top of the 5th for Washington. He was also the player manager and then later managed at Boston and went into the front office in Boston and then later became the American League president. 45 is a roll. That's going to be a ball 4 to Joe Cronin. He is 1 for 1 with 2 walks today. He is a fast runner at first base. There are no outs. Heini Manish is the batter. Okay, Manish takes off. It's a hit and run play. Cronin takes off. 46 is 29. That's going to be a ground out to the pitcher. 1-3. But Cronin will end up at second base with 1 down. Joel Kuhl is the batter. Best defensive first baseman in the league and a decent hitter. 63. It's going to be a fly ball to center field. Caught by Jake Marisnick, and the runner holds at second. 2 outs. Goose Goslin. 34 is also a fly ball to Jake Marisnick. That ends the top of the 5th. Go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Washington 4, Houston 0. Earl Whitehill, left-hander from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, will be facing Jake Marisnick, the pitcher, and then George Springer. Here's the pitch to Marisnick. 26 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. Lance McCullers stays in the game and will bat. 36 is a Y. That's a strikeout. And back to the top of the order. George Springer. 22, that's a hit column roll. 62 is a double for George Springer. That score had the letters M and F, but there are no letters for Earl Whitehill. So Springer's at second base with 2 outs. Alex Bregman. 61 is a 39. That's a strike. $51 is a 9. That's going to be on a 9 on a 9. And 28 is the play result, a ground out to the shortstop, Joe Cronin. Go to the top of the 6th, still 4-0 Washington. Ozzie Bluish played 18 seasons for the Washington Senators, only exceeded by Walter Johnson. Here's the pitch to Bluish. 46 is a fly ball to the right fielder, George Springer, and Bluish is retired for the first out. He is 1 for 3. Luke Sewell comes to bat. Luke Sewell has 2 doubles in the game, 2 for 2. 1-6 is the roll, and that is a ground out to the shortstop, Carlos Correa. Now the pitcher, Earl Whitehill, comes to bat. 52 is a ground ball to, it's got the letter X, so it's going to be a strikeout by Earl Whitehill. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 4-0 Washington. Carlos Correa leads off. He's 1 for 2. 32 is a ground ball to second base for the first out. 1 down. Jose Altuve. Altuve is 0 for 2, but 2 for 6 in the series with a home run. And it's got 4 RBI. 41 is a ground ball to the Washington shortstop, Joe Cronin. Throws over to Joe Kuhl. 2 away. Josh Reddick. 46 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. Go to the top of the 7th. Still 4-0 Washington. Buddy Meyer leads off for Washington. He is a lifetime .303 hitter over, I think, 9 seasons and twice an All-Star. Here's the pitch to Buddy Meyer. 63 is going to be a flyout to Jake Marisnick in center field. Fred Schulte. 1-4 is a fly ball to Josh Reddick in left field. 2 away. Here's Joe Cronin. 53 is a 20. That's going to test Jose Altuve, who is a fielding rating of 8. Column 1, that's going to be a ground out to Jose Altuve, 4-3. We go to the bottom of the 7th, still 4-0 Washington. Yuli Gurriel, 3 for 6 in this World Series. He leads off for the Astros. 45 is going to be a base on balls. And Yuli has been on base all 3 times with a walk, a single, and a double. Fast runner, no, average runner at first. Nobody out. Here is Evan Gattis. 45 is going to be a base on balls. First and second. That brings up Jake Marisnick looking for his first hit in the series. 56 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. 1 down. Timeout. Pitch hitting for Houston will be Derek Fisher. One-two is a 25. That's going to be a double play ground ball to the shortstop, Joe Cronin. And that will end the 7th inning. We go to the top of the 8th, 4-0 Washington. Okay, right-hander Chris Davinsky will be brought in to pitch for Houston. 15 is his relief grade. He is an XY strikeout pitcher. He will be facing Heini Manush, who is 2 for 8 in the World Series. Here's the pitch to Manush. 43 will be a ground ball back to Davinsky. And Manush is retired 1-3. Joe Kuhl. 16 is a ball hit on the ground to the shortstop, Carlos Correa. 2 down. Goose Goslin. 1-3 is a base on balls. Goslin's on base for the 3rd time today. He is an average speed runner. Rossi Bluage, the batter. 24 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 4-0 Washington. Earl Whitehill is still out there. He'll be pitching to George Springer, Alex Bregman, and Carlos Correa. Here's the pitch to Springer. 61 is a ground ball to the shortstop, Joe Cronin, who throws over to Joe Cool for the first out. Alex Bregman's 0 for 3 today. He was 1 for 4 yesterday with a double on RBI. 25 is an 8. He's a 8 on a 9 pitcher. Whitehill's left-handed. Bregman's. That's going to be a base hit for Alex Bregman. Carlos Correa. 1-1. That's a hit column roll. 52 is a 7. That's going to be a single. Bregman goes to 3rd. Astros have runners on the corner with one out. Joe Cronin is going to make a change here. Red McCall will be brought in to pitch. He is a grade 5 reliever. And why strikeout modifier? He's going to get a 1 level bump, which will make him a 10 for same-handedness for the first batter. Jose Altuve comes to bat. Jose Altuve is 0 for 3 today, but was 2 for 4 yesterday. Washington is going to play their infield back. Here's the pitch to Altuve. 64, that's a 36 play result. Ball 1. 36 is a 14. That's going to be ball 4. Loading the bases and bringing the tie-in run, Josh Reddick up to bat. This is the big moment in this game for the Houston Astros. Here's the pitch to Josh Reddick. 31 is going to be a 9. He's no effect against right-handed pitchers. 9 on a 5. That's a single. With 1 out, the runners will advance 1 base. That scores Bregman, puts Reddick at first, Altuve at second, and Correa at third, and gets Houston on the scoreboard. Still only 1 out. Charged the run to Earl Whitehill. Ulesky Gurriel, who is 2 for 2 today with a double and a single. 3 for 6 in this World Series. Infield is still playing back for Washington. Here's the pitch to Gurriel, 63, 30. That's a fly ball to left field. You have to see how deep it is. 6, that's going to be deep. 54. Okay, that when you add all the numbers up, that brings it up to 69 running, which, considering his arm, it's going to be 38. So that's automatic run scored. A throw comes in the second base, and Houston has cut the lead in half, 4-2. Houston will bring in a pitch hitter at this point. That's going to be Marwin Gonzalez. He'll be hitting for Evan Gaddis, the catcher. Brian McCann will be the new catcher when we go out to the field. Here's the pitch to Gonzalez. 31 is a 9. +1 against 9 on a 4. That's a single that fills the bases. Bases are loaded with Gonzalez at first, Josh Reddick at second, and Jose Altuve at third base. The batter is Jake Marisnick. Okay, they're calling Marisnik back to the dugout, and there will be a pitch hitter for Marisnik. That will be Carlos Beltran. Nicole winds and pitches to Beltran. 61, it's a 29. It has a Y modifier, so Beltran strikes out. And we go to the top of the ninth. It's 4-2 Washington. Okay, as we go to the top of the ninth inning, there are defensive changes for Houston. Brian McCann goes in to play catcher for Evan Gattis, who was pinch hit for, and Carlos Beltran stays in the game. He will play center field. Houston's defense goes down to fielding column 2. Batting the ninth for Washington will be Aussie Blue Age, Luke Sewell, and the pitcher spot. Chris Davinsky stays on the mound for Houston. 24 is a swing and a miss. Strike 3 for Aussie Blue Age, who is not the batter, Luke Sewell. Luke Sewell should be the batter. 24 is a strikeout for Luke Sewell. Washington will bring up a pinch hitter, Bob Boken. He'll be hitting for the pitcher, Red McCall. 46 is a ground ball back to Chris Davinsky, who snags it and throws over to first. 2 away. And back to the top of the order, Buddy Meyer, who is 0 for 4 today. .26 is the roll. That's going to be a ground out to the third baseman, or it's got an X modifier, so it is a strikeout. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Washington 4, Houston 2. For Houston in the ninth, the pitcher's spot is due up first. Cameron Maybin will be called in to pitch hit. I think he's the last position player on the bench. Everyone else has been in the game. He will be batting against Jack Russell, pitching for Washington. Jack Russell pitched an inning and a third yesterday. He struck out 2 and gave up no runs or no hits. Russell to Maybin, here's the pitch. 21 is a ground ball to the second baseman, who is Buddy Meyer, who throws over to Joe Cool for the first out. Houston is down to 2 outs. George Springer and Alex Bregman are going to be tough outs. Here's the pitch to Springer. He's 1 for 3. 65 is a pop-up to the catcher, Luke Sewell. There are 2 down. And the batter is, and the last out for Houston today is Alex Bregman. 1-5 is going to be an 11. That's against a right-handed pitcher. He's -4. 11 against a 19. That's going to be a base hit. And Bregman is now 2 for 5. Keeps Houston's hopes alive and brings the tying run to the plate. And Carlos Correa. Correa is 2 for 6 in the World Series. Here's the windup and the pitch. 6-6 roll. It might be. It could be. It is out of here, and the game is tied. 4-4. Oh my goodness. Houston was on the precipice, and now Carlos Correa has tied it up. That brings up Jose Altuve with the bases clear. But a brand new ball game. Here's the pitch to Altuve. 21 is a swing and miss, strike 3. But there is still life in the Astros. As we go to the top of the 10th, the score is tied 4-4. Okay, the new pitcher for Houston Astros will be Will Harris. He'll be pitching to Fred Schulte, Joe Cronin, and Heine Manouche here in extra innings at the top of the 10th inning. 51 is a 9 against a right-handed pitcher. -2, 9 on a 15 is a base hit for Fred Schulte. And Schulte is 2 for 4. He's a fast runner and is on first. No outs. Joe Cronin. 11 through 43 is his chances to steal second. And it's not great, but we're going to start the runner. And Joe Cronin's going to hit and run. 55, that's going to be an 8 on a 14. It's going to be a fly out to right field. And Schulte will have to scurry back to first base. With one down, it brings to bat Heini Manush. Manush is 0 for 4 today. We're going to hold the runner. 52 is 27. That's going to be a fielder's choice, or X. That's a strikeout. He's got the X letter, so 2 down. And Joe Cool is the batter. 1-2 is a ball hit on the ground to second base. Jose Altuve is up with it. He goes a short way to the shortstop to retire Schulte at second base. That's the third out. We go to the bottom of the 10th inning. Score tied at 4. Jack Russell remains in the game, and he'll pitch to Josh Reddick, Ulysses Gurriel, and Brian McCann. Here's the pitch to Reddick. 44 is a 7. That's going to be a base hit for Josh Reddick. Reddick is 2 for 5. Fast runner at first base. The Astros are going to start the runner and hit and run with Gurriel. 1-3 is the roll. That's a 22. That will be a hit by pitcher. Unless he's rated HB0, he is not. So Astros have the first 2 runners on. Okay, there's no outs. That third batter is a pitcher, and we don't have any more position players to pitch hit with. So we're probably going to swing away. There's a pitch to McCann. 34 is a fly ball to center field. It's going to be caught by Fred Schulte. Runners will not advance. 1 down. Carlos Beltran. 1-5 is an 8. He is +1 against right-handed pitchers. Makes him an 8 on a 14. That's a fly ball to right field, caught by Goose Goslin. 2 away. And that brings up the pitcher, Will Harris. 42 is a swing and miss for strike 3. Go to the top of the 11th inning. That was a 10th. Top of the 11th, 4-4 tie. Will Harris will stay in the game, and he'll pitch to Goose Goslin, Ozzie Bluish, and Luke Sewell. Here's the pitch to Goslin. 43 is a ground ball back to Harris. Goes over to first for the out. Ozzie Bluish. 44 is a 8. Right-handed pitcher, so he is -3, 8 on a 16. That is going to be a fly ball to center field, caught by Carlos Beltran, who's now playing center. 2 down. Luke Sewell. 34 is a fly ball to Beltran. Go to the bottom of the 11th, it's 4-4 tie. Now pitching for Washington is left-hander Bobby Burke. He is a grade 9 with a Y strikeout modifier. George Springer will lead off for Houston. 26 is a strikeout. Alex Bregman. 21 is a ball hit on the ground to the second baseman, Buddy Meyer. Throws over the first, and Alex Bregman is 2 for 6. Here is Carlos Correa, whose 2-run home run kept the Houston Astros' hopes alive in the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's the pitch to Correa. 35 is a 9. He's -3 against, he's +5 against left-handers. So that makes it a 904 base hit for Carlos Correa. 4 for 6 in today's game. Jose Altuve comes to bat. 1-4 is a fly ball to Heini Manush in left field. He makes the catch. We'll go to the top of the 12th. It's 4-4. Bobby Burke will remain in the game and lead off for Washington. Then the top of the order, Meyer Schulte. will follow. Here's the pitch to Bobby Burke. 51's a 9. +2 against right-handers. 9 on a, let's get Will Harris back on. Let's see, not Will Harris. Okay, Ken Giles will be on the spell Will Harris. He is a grade 18 K strikeout letter, and he is right-handed, so +2 on a 20. 9 on a 20 is fly ball to center field, caught by Carlos Beltran. Top of the order, Buddy Meyer. 53 is at 18. That's going to test the shortstop, Joe Cronin, who is a fielding column 1. And it's going to be a single. Buddy Meyer is a fast runner at first. 1 down. Fred Schulte is the batter. Meyer is a D17 stealer, not real good. Pitch to Schulte. 64 is a 12, and that's a 1 to 6 to 3 double play. Ending the inning, we go to the bottom of the 12th, 4-4 tie. Bottom of the 12th, we have Josh Reddick, Yulesky Gurriel, and Brian McCann. Scheduled to hit. Here's the pitch to Josh Reddick. 3-3 is a hit column roll. 54 is going to be a 6. He is a left-handed pitcher, -5 on lefties. So that's going to be 6 on a 14. No letter there. That's a double for Josh Reddick. And that's the 3rd hit in a row for Reddick. He'll be on second with nobody out. Okay, in the 10th, the Astros had runners on first and second with no outs. They did not bunt the advancing runners, and they flied out twice and struck out. So Gurriel is going to square around and try to move the runner. 55, that's a 7. Okay, that would have won the game, but he's bunting. Runners out at first, assist by the first baseman to the second baseman. So that does send the runner to third with 1 out. And here is Brian McCann. Washington draws the infield in to try to stop the run at the plate. Bobby Burke winds, pitches, 51. That's a 14. That's going to be a base on balls. First and third, 1 out. Carlos Beltran will be walked so they can pitch to the pitcher. Bases are loaded. There are no more position players for Houston, so here is Brian Giles. Timeout. Okay, there are fewer strikeouts on Brad Peacock's card. So he's going to pitch hit for the pitcher, and he's going to stay in the game and pitch. 1 out, bases loaded. Infield is now playing back. Maybe for a double play, or should they play in? Infield's going to play in. Infield will play in. Here's the pitch. 61 is a 29. With 2, that's a Y, so that's going to be a strikeout. So 2 outs, bases loaded. And the top of the order, here is George Springer. Washington moves their infield back. They'll play back. Springer's 1 for 9 in the World Series. A big opportunity here. Here's the windup to pitch. 1-2 is a 25 hit on the ground. That is to the pitcher. Over the first, Springer's retired. And we'll go to the top of the 13th. Astros leave them loaded. It's 4-4. Brad Peacock is on the pitch for Houston. He is right-hander, A with X, Y, and W modifiers. Master grade is 15. He'll be facing Joe Cronin, Honey Manish, and Joe Cool. Pitch to Joe Cronin's a 61. That's a 23. That tests the pitcher, who is a fielding grade 2. That's going to be a strikeout. One down. Honey Manish. 64 is ground out to third base. 5-3. 2 away, and now Joe Cool. 22 is a 7 on a 16. That's going to be a base hit for Joe Cool. Fast runner at first. Stealing rating is a E26. That's not half bad. McCann's throwing -4. Peacock's move is 0. So let's see. That makes him an E30 rating, which is 11 through 56. He will be safe. So with 2 outs, Cool takes off, tries to steal to get in a scoring position. Here's the roll 24. He is safe. Goose Gosselin's at bat now. 2 outs, the man in scoring position. Peacock's pitch to Gosselin. 32 is hit on the ground to the second baseman. Jose Altuve throws over to first base for the 3rd out. For the bottom of the 13th inning, it is tied 4-4. Alex Bregman leads off for Houston, 2 for 6. 36 is the roll. 33 is the result. That's a Y strikeout. Carlos Correa, 4 out of 6 today. 55, that's going to be an 8 against, and he's +5 against left-handers. That's 8 on. That's going to be a base hit for Carlos Correa. And that is a 5-hit game for Carlos. Our 26th stealer brings up Jose Altuve. 1-5 is going to be an 11. -1 against 11 on 10. And that's a play result of 32. A fly out to the right fielder, Goose Gosselin. Brings up Josh Reddick with 2 outs. And Reddick is 3 for 6. He hit his last 3 times up. Here's the pitch. 55, that's a 7. -5 against left-handers. That's 7 on 14. That's going to be a base hit. And the runner goes to third. So with 2 down, the Astros have runners on first and third for Yulieski Gurriel, who he has hit safely his last 3 times up. Houston's had many chances to put this game away since they tied it up. See if they can do it here. Here's the pitch. 53 is an 18. That's going to test. That's going to be a hit by pitch ball. He does not have an HBO. So bases will be loaded. Brian McCann. He walked his last time up. There's the pitch to Brian McCann. 32 is going to be hit on the ground. To the second baseman, who goes a short way to the shortstop to retire Gurriel, 4-6. And that's the end of the inning. Go to the top of the 14th. The bases are left loaded again by the Astros. Score is 4-4. Aussie Bluish will lead off for the Senators in the top of the 14th inning. Here's the pitch. 64 is going to be a ground out to third base. First out. Luke Sewell. 32 is a ground out to the second baseman, Jose Altuve. 2 away. And with 2 outs, they're going to still stay with Burke, who has a starting pitching rating, so he can go a while. 64 is a ground out to Alex Bregman at third. But at the bottom of the 14th, it's still tied 4-4. Carlos Beltran leads off for the Astros. 52 is going to be a ground out to third base. That's Aussie Bluish. One away. Brad Peacock. 6-6 roll. That's a 6. He is facing a left-hander. -4. 6-13. There's an M there, and he does not have an M on the card, so that's a double for Brad Peacock. They run a jacket out to him, and he'll be in scoring position for the top of the order, and George Springer. Burke pitches to Springer. 1-3 is a base on balls. First and second. One away. Alex Bregman. 284 hitter in 2017. Here's the pitch. 13 is going to be a base on balls. Loads them up. Get Bregman on first. Springer on second, and Peacock is on third. Washington's infield is going to play in. And holy cow, Carlos Correa has 5 hits already. He is 5 for 7 in the game, including the big two-run homer in the ninth that tied it up for Houston. Here's the pitch to Correa. 64-23 with the bases full. And the infield is playing close. The result is hit by the pitch, and that will drive in the winning run, giving Houston the game 5-4. We'll be back with a wrap-up. Okay, lots of extra baseball today on Apba Classics. Here's the line score. The Washington Senators scored 4 runs on 9 hits and no errors, while the Houston Astros scored 5 runs on 15 hits and 1 error. The winning pitcher is Brad Peacock for the Houston Astros. The loser would be Bobby Burke for the 33 Senators. But lots of stars for the Astros today, but the main one would be Carlos Correa, who had 5 hits in 7 at-bats, plus he figured prominently in the 2 biggest moments in the game for Houston with the 2-run home run in the ninth, and then he was hit by a pitch. The 2-run homer in the ninth tied the game and extended it 5 more innings, and then he was hit by a pitch to get the walk-off win, and so that gives him 3 RBIs to go with his home run and 5 hits in today's game. Carlos Correa, your star of the game. So Houston ties the World Series at 1 game apiece. Tomorrow we'll go to Griffith Stadium in Washington, D.C., where the 2017 Astros will take on the 33 Washington Senators in Game 3 of this World Series. Hope you enjoyed the game. Please join us tomorrow. This is Apba Brian saying good night and God bless.